See the 18th question and give the context. Yeah. Discuss the weakness of civil defense in the context of disaster management and suggest measures for its improvement. Also suggest measures to prevent such disasters. So multiple questions. Yeah, Rajni, good framework. Good. So what are the weakness of civil defense? What do you mean by civil defense as a matter of fact? Who are the civil defense? Who are civil defense? Fire officers, police officers are also civil defense only. Okay. Local police, yes, trained volunteers for emergency evacuations. So basically these are civil defense guys. So the question is, what is the weakness of the civil defense in the context of disaster management? First part. So you have to write the weaknesses, measures for improvement, measures to prevent disasters, and government initiatives, if any, and then conclusion. So be careful with regard to these kind of questions, because you might have thought that you have written the entire answer, but there is a possibility that you may skip some part of the question and ultimately you may not receive the full marks or the best marks for this particular question. Okay, so what is the first thing? In this context, you have to give who are the, it is a 150 word answer, but still you have to mention all the side headings. You may write only 1 or 2 points for each and every side heading, but you have to mention all the side headings, Jitendra. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So you can start off with explanation as to who are the civil defense functionaries. You can say that the civil defense functionaries include the home guards, fire officers, local police, okay, who are generally the first line respondents to any public issue as such. Okay, and then what are the weaknesses? Okay, weaknesses of the civil defense. First thing is, disasters are sometimes very specific and demand such a specific training. So civil defense employees may not have training in attempting or fighting those disasters. First part. They do not have the specializations in fighting such disasters, and they may not have proper resources to fight those disasters. And when a disaster of a bigger magnitude strikes, what should be the protocol, or what should be, how the response for that particular disaster should be, and in what time we have to respond to such disaster, these people may not be aware of. And these people are already having many roles and responsibilities in the civilian society. For example, a police officer is already burdened with the law and order. Fire officer is very much active in mitigating the fire issues. Home guards have their own role and responsibility. To further expect them to go and do the disaster management is a very big burden and a demanding task. And these civil defense agencies are under multiple controls. So police report to police, fire report to some other people. So the chain of command is not uniform, and hence there may be delay in decision making in deploying these civil defense people for disaster management. So these are the weaknesses. What are the measures for improvement? Basically, having said that, there are so many lacunae or weaknesses in managing these defense forces. For emergency disasters, to NDRF to arrive or start functioning, it will take some time. Hence, the importance of civil defense in disasters is going to be there. What will be the measures? Give them basic training or basic awareness in trying to fight out with these disasters and integrating them along with the trainings of NDRF and SDRF so that they can gain knowledge about basic requirements in fighting a disaster. And having a proper civilian disaster force in lines of NDRF so that before they arrive, these people will start functioning and helping people around. And finally, they can help in awareness generation among the people. So what are the measures to prevent such disasters? What are the measures to prevent such disaster is first having proper awareness. Again, same, having proper zonation, providing better resources, and use of technology in anticipating the disasters, equipping the disaster response force with sufficient resources infrastructure. So all these are the important aspects to prevent such disasters, and then give a conclusion that the civil defense forces are the first line responders in any disaster. The need of the hour is to train them. Maybe yes, you can write. You can say that if you want to recruit volunteers, you can have a course on disaster management in schools or universities. Okay, good suggestion. And then conclude by saying that they have to be trained and integrated along with the NDRF so that they will try to respond in any immediate disasters requirement. Clear? Who has written this? Aditya. Okay, good points. You can call upon integrating with NDRF and SDRF. That is one measure to improve the competency. Or special training in disaster management, special courses. Good. Forces, instead of calling them forces, we can call them civil defense agencies. See, police is a force, firefighting is a force. Not everyone, home guards is not a force, volunteers is not a force. So better to write agencies. Good answer, Aditya. See the 19th question. Explain the National Disaster Communication Network and India Disaster Resource Network. Do you think both the terms are merely proverbs in India's approach towards disaster management? See the 19th one. Very factual question, I would say. I don't think such questions will come in UPSC, but just try it.